What is the best sidearm or secondary weapon in Helldivers 2? These are your low ammo pistols that are used for more minor targets, clearing out mines, shooting down a hunter while your primary is low on ammo, things like that. And well, we really only have 4 options, oddly enough, so this should be an easy list. So this time we're going to rank all 4 for the automatons, then the bugs, and at the end we'll bring up a final tier list with both selections combined. Let's get into it and rank every secondary weapon in Helldivers 2 from worst to best. When it comes to the robots, there's no worse option than the dagger. This is your energy-based pistol that fires a beam instead of a traditional ammo. In general, it overheats way too quickly and can only get 1, maybe 2 kills before it does so. The advantage here is that you always have ammo. Just make sure to not fully overheat it, and at least you have something to shoot when things go haywire. But the automatons are a very different type of enemy than the bugs, requiring more long-range strategies. With bugs, you can run and shoot as much as you like, while bots require taking cover, clearing out the area so you can move in, and flanking patrols whenever possible. The dagger, while very long range, doesn't provide any benefit here. All the other sidearms hit at long ranges, even the Uzi one that seems like it would only be for up close. And you really only take out basic bot units with this. All things considered, it's very usable here, easy to control, and can save ammo if you have only a few targets in front of you. But super low damage makes it unable to save you when caught off guard, standing there too long, taking 1 too many shots before the target is defeated. D tier. The Senator is your revolver option. It's a very powerful item that deals massive damage, able to one-shot most smaller targets and 2 or 3 shot even devastators if you get some nice headshots. You can free aim on this or aim down sights. I prefer the aim down sights as it's far more accurate, and the weapon feels amazing to shoot with some very satisfying audio for both shots and hits. Then you get a good chunk of ammo as well. So much that if you're using it as a true sidearm, that is not only using this item, you're gonna rarely run out of ammo. And well, there's something to say about the fun of running a revolver against some robots. The gun does reload similar to the Punisher and Slugger shotguns, meaning you can fire in between shots rather than fully reloading every single time. But, well, there has to be a downside, you know, and sadly this item's downside is quite severe. You take so unbelievably long to reload this revolver that it actively hurts to use it, because your character individually reloads each bullet 1 by 1, rather than slapping in a new cylinder or having all bullets ready in a canister. No, you place bullets 1 by 1, and man, it hurts the gameplay a lot. Often this may not be the biggest issue if you just reload as you run to your next encounter, but reload speed on guns is extremely important in shooters as it affects the overall feel of the weapon on top of its performance. Great damage and utility, but super bad reload for a gun with only 6 shots at a time. C tier. The Peacemaker is probably the most basic idea of a pistol we're ever going to see in this game. It's got a modest amount of ammo and can shoot really fast. The damage isn't super strong, but it is plenty for sure. I found this item to be really hard to use for free aiming, as it performs much better aim down sights. But I mean, when you aim down sights, it feels really good. Peeking out from a rock and popping a bot with this a couple of times works well and doesn't punish you for wasting shots. Best part of all, this beautiful work of art reloads almost instantly. I mean, it is night and day different from the Senator. In fact, you can run out of ammo directly in front of an enemy and reload fast enough to not take any damage before you clear the target. When you go into war, you want reliable damage and high usability out of your tools. This gun never slows down combat, and while the damage isn't quite as high as you might want, it can fire fast enough to make up for that. Solid item when it comes to having fun and really effective at medium to close range against smaller targets. A tier. The Redeemer is the best sidearm for taking on bots. This is your mini Uzi. Fires rounds fast and deals high damage. The 2 downsides here are that you will eat through ammo fast, and the recoil makes it harder to aim further away. Because with only 4 magazines, the automatic style of this item means 2 or 3 targets at most before it needs to reload. And most automatic weapons perform slightly worse the further away you are, especially weapons with no longer barrel to balance the control. The Redeemer makes up for both of these in damage. You shred through bots fast, and it is the only item good at taking out berserkers, those chainsaw-wielding maniacs. This gun is going to save you against 1 or 2 in every single mission, no doubt about it. And unsurprisingly, the thing you want in combat is Well, damage. Honestly, in almost every game, the thing that deals more damage is usually better, as it means less enemies on you. And heck, even then, the thing has way more range than it deserves to. The Redeemer also has a very modest reload speed, making it the most capable item for sure. Not really good at all against Devastators, but all small stuff and Berserkers are cleaned up nicely. S tier. So ultimately, for the automatons, I would highly recommend either the Peacemaker or Redeemer. Both are excellent there and very well rounded. The Senator is also amazing for bots just due to its damage, but their reload is really tough, and ultimately the dagger does not deal enough damage even against smaller targets to warrant use on automatons. Now let's take a look at the bug side of things. The Senator for bugs is far worse than anything else we have. Once again, it does get that good damage against many different targets, but that reload speed is simply egregious. When fighting bugs, you're gonna get swarmed by loads of ground units. The idea is to spray down the small stuff immediately on you and then work on the bigger stuff. Well, the Senator only gets those 6 shots, which means it needs to be accurate to work well. And then you have a worthless item, because by the time it reloads, you're gonna have an entire new swarm or patrol to worry about. Simply put, the downtime of not shooting for this weapon makes it a terrible option. And even if you enjoy it for bugs somewhat, all 3 other options we have are objectively better. F tier. The Law's Dagger again is the laser pistol, and here we see a nice step up for this item against bugs. You do nothing to heavy units, essentially meaning that hunters and smaller are going to be your targets. The gun does take out 1 or 2 of these before overheating, and infinite ammo lets you switch every so often just to keep your primary filled. I think the strategy is very effective, and since we're always going to be chased, you can whittle stuff down quickly. Sadly, the item just does not have enough damage to compete past this. Damage is extremely important, especially since the Uzi does so much so fast. And not to mention, this item has a very bad reload time. You might think, wait a minute, I thought it was fast. Well, it is, except when you let it cool down. The cooldown is essentially an alternate form of reloading, as you can't fire the weapon to actually kill anything until it's down enough. And that cooldown can be quite slow sometimes. The dagger is usable and nice due to it having a good aim down sights and virtually no recoil, but it doesn't deal enough damage, and its pros don't really make up for this. D tier. And yet again, we see the Peacemaker being highly effective against this enemy type as well. Almost everything about this gun is good, letting you use it reliably against several targets in a row. The near instant reload is better than any other item in the game. The recoil feels at least reasonable and not way over the top for no reason. And shooting it is simply put, fun. I again don't think it's that good when not aimed down sights. Just feels a bit more off, but with the amount of ammo you get here, the gun more than puts in its fair share of work. I dare say it is the most well-rounded item in the game, aside from maybe the Sickle and the Liberator. Especially for those who don't have the additional war bonds, this is a great tool. A tier. And then we have the Redeemer, which is again the best against the bugs, because who would have thunk it, damage is king. The item actually able to kill several hunters in a row before reloading is the best for guns. The automatic nature makes it extremely easy to use, and the time to kill lets you quickly get enemies off your back when your main weapon runs out of ammo. This item also is great for taking out brood commanders and medium-sized targets, which makes it incredibly fun to use. The gun's one and only downside for bugs is you're gonna run out of ammo fast. So run the supply backpack or use it only when necessary, and you have practically solved that issue. The Redeemer is literally king of bugs, having a nice reticle and deleting whatever you pointed at with extreme malice. S tier. So for the bugs, we've got the revolver being hot garbage overall, the dagger being usable but not great, the Peacemaker always being a solid option just for fun's sake if anything else, and the Redeemer demolishing bugs left and right. In the end, the best sidearm in the game is the Redeemer. Considering this is an item you get in the basic war bond, you might not expect this. And honestly, it is a bit of a problem, because like I've said a few times, whatever deals the most damage is the most effective tool. That's what you do in this game. You kill bugs and robots. The dagger has infinite ammo, but that doesn't mean taking away its damage makes it good. The revolver is amazing for damage, but making it take an hour and a half to reload quickly tips the balance into con, rather than pros. And, well, the basic Peacemaker is just great in every way, but almost every single Helldiver is going to be using the Redeemer no matter the mission. A couple more sidearm options would be nice, and some balancing to the Dagger and Senator would really go a long way. Will we get that? Not sure, but at least we have the Golden Ticket Redeemer to keep us happy for the moment. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.